I gotta know. I gotta know before we get started. I need your help. Okay. I gotta know who is responsible for posting this. Now it's viral. I don't even know who's responsible for this. Oh man, it's Saturday night after hours. Get comfy, get settled in. Here we go. What a crazy thing for this thing to go viral. Have you seen that video?
I'm just wondering why you have flowers in your titties.
I said I watched
Is
it.
there a bouquet in there?
I mean, y'all have upped your meme game. I'm gonna tell you, meme. I like it. I like it, but yo, that was weird. That was weird. It almost to me, you said I pulled flowers out.
It
It
kind of looked
almost
like
to me like I was like, I got boob sweat, and he was offering me a towel for my boob sweat.
yeah, but then there was just a random
But
flower,
then, yeah, but then the flowers.
and it didn't even look like a flower. Technically, it looked like the top of like a
It was like a
pineapple. I'm even
spray.
more
It
concerned.
was like a spray. I don't know. Let's look at it again. We'll analyze it. And then we'll tell folks what we think. I don't know what spawned this, but I got a reasonable explanation, I think. Oh my gosh, here we go. I do like that he kissed the flower before he sent it up. That was nice. That was nice. Oh, geez. Anyway, we believe that is a result of this article. Make it bigger. Um, where uh, recovery housing and Ohio House Bill 58, where we did include uh, winter and a beautiful picture of our state representative. And I guess people were maybe just used to us kind of giving him a hard time, but we do that. Politicians are elected by the people, so you know we give them a hard time. But we also can say when they're doing something good, and
Hmm.
so we
We don't do that very much.
we don't do that very much. And I don't know, is that a commentary on us or a commentary on the politicians?
50-50.
All right, you heard it here first. He said 100% politicians. All right. So yeah, so that was nice. Viral moment. Thanks to whoever did that. I'm sorry, there's two cameras in here. I never know which one I'm looking at. So yeah, viral sensation. Keep up the memes. Oh, look at Austin. He moved the camera. All right.
Focus.
Yes, thank you very much. I was like, where are we at here? Thank you.
We've had a time where he was looking up the teleprompter way up in the corner,
Yeah,
like it was on a camera.
yeah, yeah. We've got a monitor up there, so we can hear some of the clips and everything that we bring. So that's how that's how the sausage is made. Before we get to our first report, let's talk about the obvious. Christmas right around the corner.
Ugh.
Um,
It's the most expensive holiday.
is it expensive?
Yeah.
You buy people stuff?
No.
So, do you expect them to buy for you?
No, not anymore.
I
But
mean, does it feel good if they do?
of course, who
Okay.
doesn't like getting gifts? But
Right.
now that I'm an adult, I see how expensive it was. Little
Oh,
kid, all those
right.
presents. Oh well,
Well, I've got in my drawer. Um,
a bunch of crap.
no, it's all very organized. That's how I was able to go right to it. This is a magazine that specializes in king size clothing. So my Christmas gift to you is this, so you can look at it and order me something.
I was about to say, are you calling me fat?
No, see,
I need it.
yeah.
Where's a bright neon pink turtleneck when I need
So yeah,
it?
that's
How
your
about the pants that just have tacos on them?
taco pants. There's taco pants in there.
Yeah, right there. First page
Oh,
they opened up to.
I was looking at the dress clothes. Look, I even dog eared. Remember doing that whenever you're like looking through the JCPenney wish book or whatever, and you put little things. So something on that page turned me on. So yeah,
Probably the ladies in the robes.
it's a big guy book. But yeah,
Do you ever get the free car magazines, like cars for sale?
oh, back in the day,
I remember
yeah.
going through those and circling the cars that I wanted as I was growing up.
Hey, I was given this past week. Had a visitor here in the office, and I'm going to frame this, but this is really interesting. I may take a picture of it and post it. I know you can't see it, but it says phrases to destroy anyone's ego.
They calling them fat and handing them a big and tall book.
So I'm going to let you read a couple of those that catch your eye. He hasn't seen that. That was on my big and tall book, so he hadn't seen it.
I really like the first one.
What you got?
I don't argue with people who need attention more than logic.
Yeah.
Sounds like you. You guys should hear us off camera. You're used to being right because no one challenges you, and that's why you hire me. Your confidence is loud. Your
What?
third one.
Number 3. Your confidence loud. Your incompetence isn't. Yeah. Your incompetence is not loud. What else you got?
Oh,
It's a good one. I mean, and I like it when people come and visit with me. They bring me little gifts.
you mistake dominance for respect. They're not the same. You talk a lot for someone who rarely says anything meaningful. I couldn't imagine saying that. Just being there, standing with somebody, and you just like stop them and like say that out loud.
Yeah, try it. Try it like we're having a
I couldn't.
conversation.
I don't think I could actually say that sentence to somebody's face. It's impressive how certain you are, and how often you're wrong.
How certain I am and how often I'm wrong.
He's never wrong, and when he is wrong, he's like, "See, that's what I meant."
Yeah. I mean, it circles back around. You can make the dots connect.
You're not intimidating, just louder than necessary.
So now it's making me second guess the gift the guy brought me from the meeting. He said hang it up, and I even had the place right there on the wall. See, you can see it. That place right there on the wall. I was going to hang it for other people that are lucky enough or unlucky enough to get invited to the basement here. And so was he saying that to me?
Maybe. A lot of these do seem like they're about you.
Oh, gee.
Like this one, you depend on validation, like oxygen.
I don't depend on validation like oxygen. I don't need to be validated.
No, but it was funny. You see how defensive you got?
Oh, yeah, I got defensive. I got a little written in that got some of my West Side started coming out.
Hey, this is one for the Karens right here.
Okay.
You don't want the truth. You just want to be agreed with.
Ooh, burn. Hey, you can work that in the conversation.
You're not deep. You're just complicated in the worst ways.
I've been told that. That I will agree with. I have.
You got that last one there.
Yeah. I've heard several incantations of that sentence. Oh my.
That one I said was for the Karens. There was a show that I was watching, and like a lady was being a Karen, and the woman walked up and smacked the phone over her hand. And she's like, I don't want trouble. And she's like, no, you crave trouble. You don't want resistance. That made me think of that. And I had no idea where it's from.
I love it. So we got to put a 11 or a 10A or one of those, you know, when we used to write notes. He's not going to remember. We used to write notes in high school, and then when you ran out of the page, you draw a little thing and say turn over, as if the person you're friends with enough to have this letter writing chain going on, that they're not smart enough to turn a page over. But yeah.
How young do you think I am?
You did the turn the page
Yeah.
over thing too? Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I mean, that's basically saying you're too stupid to realize this isn't.
I mean, the first cell phone that I ever seen a family member own was one of those big gray squares.
Yeah.
It made me seem like I'm a teenager.
Yeah, I had one of those. I had the one in the bag, the very first style that came out. And
don't look like it was in a giant fanny pack that hung.
Yeah, it was a fanny pack looking thing, and it laid on your console. And then the big brick. That's when they really got popular.
You do kind of give off that I had a convertible with a car phone vibe.
Yeah, it was. Oh, damn it! It was not a convertible, but it did have a sunroof.
That's just.
And it was a BMW M series with the 5-point harness thing and all that.
Late 80s or early 90s?
Actually, that would have been late 80s, like an 89.
So you were a douche.
What would you say if I'd have said 90s?
I can't say that on camera.
Oh, so douche was the good part?
Yeah.
The best case scenario out of that story, I was going to be a douche.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, help us out, Sin. We got the very first report of the evening, and let's take it. This is about a controversial 911 call. It wasn't really controversial to us when we put it out and included a story with it, but it garnered some controversy in the comments, and so we're gonna talk about that. So here's that with Sin Mackley. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us standing by our head writer and chief content director for our SCDN evening newsletter, and we are going to talk about a very interesting 911 call that we have. So first, I'm gonna play that call, and Sin is watching, and then we will bring Sin on for some discussion, because I think it merits some discussion. So here's that kind of controversial 911 call. Let's play it.
911, what's your emergency?
Send a freaking sheriff out here right now to Glades Road.
What's the problem?
I think there's a dead person on the road, and looks like, I don't know, she came out of a truck, and the guy's out here screaming, oh my God. Wait, she's still alive. Oh my God, she's running over. He's back up.
Where's the
sheriff out here. Glades Road.
What's the address on Glades Road?
Closest.
And did he run over her?
She's on the road. He's like putting a freaking chair by her. I don't know. All right, he's taking off. I'm following him. He's going towards Bond Road.
Copy, 1237.
That woman looked like she was all bloody or something. She was older.
Is she still there?
Do you realize I've left her? I'm following him.
Okay, listen, I'm trying to get information. There's no need for you to have an attitude. And yes, some people would have been worried about following him and left her there. This is why I'm asking questions. That's my job.
Okay, I had already told you I'm following him.
And where are you going?
She's turning on Bond Road right now. She's going to need an ambulance, and I need some sheriffs or something for this guy.
Well, they're on their way.
We're heading towards the high school. We'll be at the high school in about 1 minute.
At this point, another person called dispatch regarding the injured woman. Here is that call. Then we return to the pursuit.
This lady's laying alongside the road bleeding bad. I don't know if she's been pushed out of a car, been hit, been hurt. You don't even know where she's at. It's really bad.
We're at 955 Kendall Road. You don't have any tickets or anything? No.
They're on Kendall Road? Where are you at on Kendall?
Kendall Road.
955 Kendall?
955.
We're getting them out there.
Home health is here with us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, he's at the highway where he's going to be turning. I'm trying to keep a distance. I don't know if this guy's got a gun or what. He's going left at the Memphis Pharmacy, so that's like towards IGA from the high school. So now there's 2 cars between me and him.
Okay.
He turned into the gas station.
Which gas station?
Marathon, Quick Stop.
Can you see a tag number or anything?
He's behind the gas station. I'm not following him. I'm on the other side of the road waiting to see if he comes back.
Okay.
With tensions high, the caller and dispatcher had words. High-stress calls can sometimes become contentious. Let's hear that play out. Right after the little spat, movement occurred with the subject vehicle.
I'm going to try to hide from you so you don't see me. Yeah, I don't want my information out because, this guy's probably freaking dangerous, and I don't want him getting my information after his court proceedings.
Okay.
So this isn't enough.
So where is the female? Is she still laying on the road? You said you're there by the gas station. Is the female still laying by the road?
Unless he was dragging her, then no, she's not going to be here.
Okay, you don't have to be a smart aleck.
You're asking the dumbest question
No, I'm not.
in the world, and I'm in a high-pressure situation.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it feels like you're the one being a smart aleck here. Yet I still see the female. How many times did I tell you that she was left on the side of the road?
No, you said no. You said did I leave her there? That's what you said. That was your comment back to me. I've got someone else to her because there's other people out with her that didn't leave her laying on the side of the road.
Your manager.
Well, that's fine.
He's coming back on the road. He's going the opposite direction now.
Okay, so what way is he going?
Well, high school.
Find out what happened. Did they locate the driver? Was there an arrest? And what about the female victim? Get the full details in the article that appears in the first comment.
Okay, we're joined by Sen Mackley, and Sen, we have had discussions about this particular call, and I kind of feel like we might look at it from 2 different directions. So I want to get your point of view, because if we're having the conversation, I feel like the public's probably having the conversation. And my initial thought is, what the hell's wrong with these dispatchers? The guy clearly is in stress. I mean, you don't call 911 every day, and you're in a high stress situation. You've witnessed something horrible, and you're trying to be a good citizen and follow the perpetrator and give the detailed update about this perpetrator and their location now. And he seemed very frustrated with how he was treated by the dispatcher, and you had some unique thoughts on that. So kind of share your perspective, would you please?
My perspective is he called in mad. Like, the first thing he said is, I need some freaking sheriffs there. So he was already amped up. He was amped up. And the other thing I was going to say is, we're hearing a cleaned up version of the call. I mean, we're hearing what they were saying into the phone, but we're not hearing all the noise and activity that a dispatcher is hearing behind them, and them talking to other officers and trying to figure it out. So they've got a lot of people in their ear. But just in my perspective, he called in already mad. Like, I need a freaking sheriff out here right now. Like, if you work customer service, there are some people that just come up to the counter mad. And yeah, I don't think she picked up everything he said, but he got really hostile when she was asking the questions. And he wasn't really treating her like an officer. And dispatchers, they're cops too. They're like cops. Cops are supposed to take control of the situation. And I think that's what she was trying to do. And they do keep repeating questions like location. What's the location? What's the location? And I know he felt he was being clear, but I think he was all amped up and full of adrenaline, and so was she. And it's really, I thought he kind of came in attack mode, like, why didn't you hear me, dummy? And, she's taken a lot of information coming in at once and trying to get people where they need to go. And I also kind of agree that running off after that guy wasn't the best thing. Really, the ideal thing to do would be to stop where the person was injured so anyone that was coming would see you and be, you're driving straight into danger. That's the kind of the police job. And I know this person seemed to really feel that was his deal, to follow that person. But he was coming, and you give aggression, you're going to get aggression back. And yeah, she was very, very hyped up, but I think they were both hyped up because they were trying to help somebody. And I don't know, and I got to say, part of it is, as a female, when a guy starts talking to me in my profession, like, you don't know what you're doing, stupid. I'm like, do not mansplain how to be a cop to me, buddy. I don't know. That's just a personal thing. But they were both hyped up, probably so full of adrenaline they couldn't put the brakes on, trying to save somebody, and dang it, they did. And they caught the bad guy. So kudos to everyone involved.
So you're right. And yeah, the person was caught, and an argument could be made that had it not been for this Good Samaritan who followed the person, they never would have located the suspect or form of justice be served. It could have been an entirely different story. But I do find validation in your point. When you said mansplaining, I knew it was coming. I knew you were about to drop the mansplaining. And so I do kind of see that. But how many times have we watched or heard various 911 calls, not only just from Scioto County, but just, in general through Reels, Shorts, TikToks, all that kind of stuff, where the dispatcher repeatedly asks the same questions. Is that a sign, in your opinion, of incompetence or thoroughness?
It is actually really a valid investigative technique. You ask the same questions again and again, make sure you're getting the same answer. That is one way. Well, it's one way to make sure people are right, because sometimes people do give wrong locations, but it's also one way to make sure they're telling the truth, because you and me both know, because we look at a lot of and listen to a lot of 911 calls and dispatches, that a lot of what people call into 911 isn't entirely true. Sometimes they kind of over exaggerate it to be a dangerous situation because they know that'll make the police hurry out. And then sometimes they're just completely making it up. They're making it up to SWAT somebody or to get police out. But sometimes they're making it up because there's a mental health crisis. And, they do believe there are people with guns in their yard. But there's not. And they keep asking those questions again and again to ensure accuracy. It's annoying on the receiving end, but it's also something that's kind of necessary.
So one of the things that struck me was that, people don't call 911 very often.
We hope.
Yeah, right. We hope. When I was a teacher, my young class that I had, we did drills, and I literally taught a class on how, when you're a child, to contact 911, let them know that you're a child so that they can better be equipped to deal with a call from a child. In this case, it seemed like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you might pick it up. It seemed like that the caller, though Good Samaritan, I don't want to take that away from this anonymous caller. I think that they treated it more transactional, more of a customer service call, like maybe they were calling the electric company or the bank to dispute a transaction. And I think that's what led to the I'm going to talk to your manager. And you're right, we did edit some of it because she did give her manager's contact information to the caller so he could follow up if he would like. So does any of that ring true, that because people don't deal with 911 very frequently, that they have kind of an expectation, or maybe a false expectation of really how that call will proceed?
I think so. And I will say, you notice the other people kept yelling out the address. And even though they didn't catch the address the first time when they were yelling it in the background, they didn't get mad. They just repeated it. They got what the important things were. And I think he was coming off like an angry customer. I mean, the first thing he said is, I need a freaking sheriff out here. He sounded like his cable went out during the Super Bowl and he wanted somebody to get the heck out there and fix it. He just kind of came in hot. And again, he was amped. Everybody was amped. But I think you have to realize you're dealing with a police agency, and same if you're calling for fire, EMS, you need to listen and give them the pertinent information they're asking for, even if you don't think that's what they need or what they should be asking. And I will say, I have heard 911 calls where people were terrible to victims. I'm trying to think, it was the lady in Detroit that was shot in the head, and they were like questioning her and she said her husband shot her, and they made her put her husband on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I shot her. And they're like, we're just not treating it seriously. And I don't think this was a case where they were she was being unkind to the victim. I think everybody was just excited. I think they were trying to make sure they had the information he needed. And when and again, they were treating it kind of like a customer service place where you're going to give people a lot of guff and they're not going to give any back. But I don't think that was like your Amazon representative who's going to be like, well, we're very sorry to hear that, as you're cussing them out. They're going to get some guff back. They're dealing with cops. They're there to be in control, not to be your buddy.
You had me cracking up. You just had me cracking up. But yeah, so when does a question become so outlandish? And I'll give you an example in this call, and then I'll give you an example previous. And I know we didn't discuss the previous example, so I'm going to give you time to process that. On this call, he clearly had traveled a distance from the scene because he announced he was coming up on the high school. He turned on Bond Road. Now he's coming up on the high school. Now he's coming up on a convenience store, and you can hear him in distress, in fear, as he's hiding. And he even says, I don't know if this guy's got a gun or not. And at that time is when she asks about the woman alongside the road, and short circuit, he just lost it. Was that a fair time to bring up the woman back miles away when he's explained everything heretofore? I mean, was that just a little over the top? I mean, it was for him, but in your opinion?
Okay, you're assuming she just didn't get a little discombobulated because she was having 5 conversations at once, because that is not the thing we're hearing. she's taking multiple calls and has multiple people talking at her. And I think she got a little discombobulated about who she was talking about in the location. And him, of course, all he's seeing is what's happening with him. He's not hearing those other calls where they're talking with the people where they're on the road or where they're talking. You and I know they're probably busting their butt trying to get a squad to get out there, because we know how many times they have to tone and call to get a squad out to get people. Usually they have to try a couple of different squads. So I think she was having multiple conversations with multiple people and had a lot of noise going on and got a little discombobulated. And I don't think he factored in that idea that, hey, this person's having 18 conversations. And she got it backwards and he yelled at her and it ticked her off.
It clearly ticked her off. And
but
so,
I mean,
go ahead.
Talking to people.
Right. She's having, and what we don't understand as a public, because we don't call 911, we go to the emergency room, and so we see the assembly line of workers, and so we see the different people coming in. And we do get frustrated when they ask you the same question, and you say, I just told the last three people, what's going on, but they're asking for a different reason for their purposes of why they've entered into the conversation. So, in your opinion, let's say the guy did go ahead and speak to the manager, as he said. We edited out that bit of it, but let's say he did file a complaint with her captain. What, in your mind, as a solid-minded representative of the community, what would you do if you're that supervisor and you heard that same call and you got the complaint? What's your response back to the person and also the operator?
She was a little snippy with him, but he was a lot snippy with her too. So it was like a case where I thought he kind of set the energy at the outset with, I need a freaking deputy now. That's the energy he set. But I'm also not sure, was that the same dispatcher talking to both people? Talking to both callers? Because if it wasn't,
we don't know that. What we requested was all calls associated with this incident. So we don't know if it's the same.
If it wasn't the same dispatcher, she might not actually know where the person is. If she didn't intake that the first time he said it, I was trying to listen to their voice and make sure if it was the same one or not, but that's not the super highest quality recording. So if somebody else got, this is the address, this is where she is, the other person might not have totally understood that. Because if the other person were getting the call, hey, we've got this person in the road, then she may not have even had the information that he had, because she might not have heard everything he said. But I don't know that. It could have been the same person. But I mean, I don't think it's a case where they're a little snippy. I don't think it rises to the level of making a complaint with somebody. I think as humans, like, not a complaint really against him, a critique against him or her, that sometimes when people are in a situation like that where they're amped up and they're trying to save somebody, I think there should be enough empathy to go around that everybody's human. And for me, he was coming in hot and snippy, but I think I would later look back on that and be like, well, he was going through a lot. But I think unless you're seeing some gross incompetence or some real hatefulness, and it didn't feel like that. I feel like it was just pushing back and everybody was hot in the moment, that, sometimes we could just pull out some extreme empathy for other people, and we don't need to talk to the manager, and that we realize mistakes happen and that people get hot and bothered and not everybody gives the best information. And maybe we think about how maybe they could think about how they can hold it and be politer. But then I don't know how many calls she got, if that was her 13th call that hour and she was just but I also think it's something we need to think about when we're calling first responders, is getting that information and not getting upset. And sometimes we just think they should know what we're saying, and then they start to question us, and they don't, because maybe the person didn't hear that, or they didn't get that, or they aren't totally getting what you mean. And I think the more important thing is everybody just try to be calm. She pushed back, and I suppose in a perfect world, maybe people would always be polite when they feel like somebody's kind of questioning them and being a jerk, but that's not me. If you had come in hot like that with, I need to speak to a freaking somebody about whatever, when you called me, I would be just like,
we had the unique ability to see 2 phone calls from 2 separate people regarding the same situation, and compare and contrast caller 1 versus caller 2 as far as how you interpret that they engaged with the 911 system.
Well, I mean, again, he came out, I need a freaking sheriff, this is happening. He was trying to, like, I don't know, almost live stream it and break it down. And I think the other people, maybe they were older, maybe I'm not right, but they were more like, here's the bullet points. Lady in the road, immediately yelling the address. Need an ambulance. Here's the address. Did you get it? Here's the address. And then they asked again, and they didn't say, I told you the address twice. They said, here's the address. I mean, it's just more of a kind of like the old school, a little more of a respectful, like you said, they were coming off like they were calling for an ambulance, and he was coming off like his cable went out, and he was pretty ticked off.
So I really like, and I appreciate you having this discussion. I think it's a discussion that the whole town has had regarding to the conversation, in that I can't really point a finger and say any of the 2 parties were wrong. They certainly had 2 different personalities, 2 different ways of communicating. But you've got one person in a situation they've probably never been in their life, speaking to another person who deals with this, as you mentioned, could have been the 13th call they'd received that hour. And so it was kind of a clash of communication styles and personalities. And I'm not sure the word blame comes into this to the scenario at all. What's your thoughts?
I think maybe everybody did the best they could. I mean, probably chasing that guy, not the best course of action. I mean, it was good that they caught him, but I don't think officers often like it when people put themselves kind of out there like that. But the other thing I think, and looking at the thing, what a great coordination between EMS, between multiple police agencies, and because that was a multi-agency thing that was going on. And I mean, it was a pretty well coordinated effort. They got the person, got the lady help. I mean, that could have ended horribly. I mean, it's a good thing someone saw it, because if somebody hadn't been there to see it, that person could have still been laying there, run over on the road till the next morning.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good examination of how to communicate with 911, and often we find, and we hear it over on the scanner, it's not rare that a person finds someone, say, who's driving erratically, and they follow that erratic driver for a period of time to allow for law enforcement to catch up and have a look for themselves. But of course, nobody wants vigilante or anything like that. But I think this was a really good study in effective communications, especially when dealing with 911. You brought up a point that they are accustomed to people overinflating stories in hopes to getting a little higher up on the response to get a faster response. And we've seen stories, we've printed plenty of articles over the years where people call 911 and just straight up lie and say the most horrendous things that simply aren't true. And so the questioning and the re-questioning seems like a valid point. That would happen if they were sitting with a detective in the hot seat, as it were. The detective is going to ask the same question 10 different ways to Sunday. So I don't know. What do you think? I think this is a good case study for everyone on both sides of that call. What say you?
I agree, and I think 911 operators, hold your temper, and realize I wouldn't have. But it's sometimes the hardest thing in the world is to hold your temper when people are just. And unlike some customer service places will allow you to disengage with people if they cuss at you or get nasty, and he didn't cuss at her or anything. But 911 can't hang up if you cuss at them. They have to sit there and go through it with you. And we've heard some of them where people are just screaming at them and not getting the information to them that they need about what's happening and what's there, and is someone armed and things like that.
And information changes. We've heard 911 calls where, in this case, the 911 operator asked the same question several times. But we've also heard and seen calls where they ask the same question several times and get several different answers. And so I really think this is a good study, and I hope people take this to heart, that what Sin's point is with the busyness. We can't hear all of and some of the 911 calls, we hear the rapid typing and we hear the dispatch, talking and all that kind of stuff. In this particular recording, we did not hear that. And sometimes there's a partner, and they work in teams. So one person is talking to the caller while the other person is doing the dispatching. And this kind of sounds like what was going on. But nonetheless, there's a whole bunch going on. That dispatch rooms aren't huge call centers like you see on TV. They are very cramped, and they're sitting on top of each other. So I appreciate your time, and I'm going to give you the final word. And I really appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure when we get our chief content director to speak to the folks. So I'm going to give you the last word. When it comes to calling 911, and they may or may not, well, let's just say in this case, they don't meet your immediate expectations, what should one do? And this will be the final word, and we'll let you go on this one.
I always suggest practicing extreme empathy in situations like that. Like, while you're dealing with them, just imagine imagine yourself in that situation in the worst possible way, and try to give as much empathy and understanding as you can just to get through the discussion. I wouldn't as a 911 operator or as someone calling 911 start the argument there. If you really want to make a complaint and stuff, do it later. I would say just give them the information that they want, even if you have to repeat it slowly, and just use a little empathy and realize that just because someone doesn't get what you're saying doesn't mean they're stupid. Doesn't mean they're not listening. There can be reasons. I am just a big proponent of extreme empathy when dealing with people and just assuming they're having the worst day of their lives and that's why they're reacting that way. And I found it can keep a lot of things from escalating.
I like it. And when you say extreme empathy, that's a good word. You might want to write that one down. That was a good one. Our sheriff says sometimes we suffer from compassion fatigue, and that goes both ways. In the context he was referring to was law enforcement, but the citizenry also has a responsibility in that compassion fatigue type situation, in my belief. So I thank you for helping me break this down and your analysis. At the end of the day, we do have a good Samaritan. The suspect was apprehended. The injured party was found and treated, although according, due to HIPAA laws, we're not exactly aware of, any potential injuries. But we know that these two calls, possibly saved a life, and without a doubt held somebody accountable for their actions. So it was a good story, but an interesting call. And Sin Mackley, people say you're my number 2, and I don't agree with that. I'm going to call you my 1.5. definitely my 1.5. I'm so proud and so happy to have you part of the upper management of our team, and I couldn't do it without you. So I thank you for weighing in on this subject, and I thank you for being there for our community every single day.
Well, back at it Monday.
Yeah, back at it Monday. All right. Thank you so much. Sin Mackley, everybody. Sin Mackley. Okay. Thank you so much, Sin, for that very thoughtful conversation. I think everybody's both sides of their brains got used on that. Austin has also had a chance to hear that 911 call, and I think you have some thoughts. So what are your thoughts on this?
Like I told you, I honestly do not feel as if the 911 operator was as professional as she could be.
Even given Sin's point of there's multiple things going on, that operator may not have been the same operator that received the separate call where we heard the people that were calling for the person on the other that was on the road. She may not have known that person was tended to. It may have been another person. We don't know. We couldn't tell. We both listened, and we really couldn't tell if it was a different voice or not. But let's say it was a different person. Would that make a difference in her reaction if she's still asking about the lady several miles away, if she was not the one that got that call?
Not entirely, because there's multiple people doing multiple things. Her reaction didn't really suit either situations, because you have a possible dying person on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And she's calling them names and telling them to lose their attitude. Like, that's a high stress situation.
Right. And then this is the Good Samaritan who follows, and you saw that I mentioned where it's not advisable. Police would always tell you not to do that. Mm-hmm. But, as you hear on our SCDN scanner all the time, not a plug, just a good idea. Where people see an erratic driver, say, coming down the road, down the highway, and they call in and say, I'm following this erratic vehicle. It's similar to that, where he said he's 2 car lengths away and he's following. does that make a difference? I noticed she kind of.
Well, yes and no, but at the same time, more leaning towards no, because the guy is once again still in a high stress situation. He just, as far as that guy knew, he just threw a body out on the side of the road and took off.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting mad at him for not being calm. Like, if I was sitting there and watched somebody throw somebody out of the car and just speed off, I wouldn't have been calm about it.
Right. So okay, so now Austin is in Medford, and you followed this guy, and you're dealing with a 911 operator, and you've made it past this, down the country roads and out to the main highway, past the school, all the way down to the place where now all the truck stop. We might be able to get people to catch up, right? And you could hear the caller seemingly a little distressed, especially when he says, I'm going to try to hide. So he's distressed. And then I go, hey, Austin, what's going on with that woman back on the highway?
And he did, I'm not with her, I'm here. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he kind of had a little bit of an attitude, but it was a very, very stupid question. Like, if he is following the truck, how is he supposed to know what's going on?
Right. Yeah. So on the surface, that was my first thought, is like, duh, where have you been this whole call? But then Sin brings up, again, another valid point, that there's a lot going on. They're dispatching, they're toning out ambulances, they're trying to rally all the help they can get. Is it possible that the lady just kind of lost track of where she was in the conversation?
I'm not taking anybody's sides, but wouldn't it be a little bit messed up if she wasn't actually talking to him and she was looking to her right, talking to the other person who's on the phone with the other person? It was like, what's going on with the lady?
It's that she wasn't even talking to him.
Just imagine that.
Oh, what a great perspective.
Technically, they're in a room about as big as this, and there's multiple of those stations lined up.
Yeah.
So what if she's sitting there talking to that guy, and then she looks over and is asking another dispatcher?
Still got her.
And then he starts yelling at her.
Oh, what a great point. That has not even been...
That would be some shit.
Oh, that would be awesome. We need to know. I like that theory. I like that theory.
On another thing completely unrelated to that, you were talking about unsafe drivers. I was behind one today. A maroon Cadillac cut between two vehicles on the highway, forced them over, and just kept going. And was in and out of traffic, swerving like he was in a NASCAR race.
Oh, but it was a comfortable ride. it was a boat.
It wasn't a nice Cadillac. It was one of the ugly, boxy ones.
Oh, when they made them shorter?
Just square. It's like the 2008 ones. Everything's boxy and square and weird.
Yeah.
And it was backfiring, and
yeah, that was a bad time for
almost every panel was a different color.
You could have gone older. The old. Because I had an old Oldsmobile, and man, I love that thing. Oh man, and then the newer Cadillacs. But yeah, there was this time Oldsmobile did the same thing. They had what was it? The Cialis? No. The Oldsmobile Cialis.
I immediately was like, no.
Oh,
that's getting short.
Oh, well, we're gonna, yeah. Oh, man, we should have.
The producers are behind the camera going, "Fuck, we're getting sued by Buick."
Oh, not again. Demonetized. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Okay. So it's time to go on to
On a side note, if you're the driver of the Crimson Buick, or Buick, Crimson Cadillac, drive like you got some sense.
Yes.
Next story.
Next story.
The Buick Cialis.
Oh man, yeah.
It's too late. That's going to be a short. That's going to be a YouTube short is what that's going to be.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm going to be making fun of you for that for years.
Oldsmobile Cutlass Cialis, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my. Okay. So, we are going on to story number two. Story number two. Stalking. So I'm going to add this to the page. And the stalking was done via a welfare check. Very interesting. Let's hear what happened.
Portsmouth police were called into what initially sounded like a potential crisis, but quickly turned into something very different. Just after noon, a man contacted police claiming his wife had been gone for days, had returned briefly to say she had a gun and ammo, and then left again in a steel-colored Chevy Colorado. He also told dispatch that if she were suicidal, she would likely go to Sunset Gardens Cemetery where her family is buried. Given the alarming details, officers immediately attempted to call the woman, leaving a voicemail when she did not answer. Police also requested that Scioto County Sheriff's deputies check the cemetery. Please support this local business. The truth comes out. Before long, officers reached the woman by phone, and her story was nothing like the man's. She told police she was not suicidal. She was getting food, perfectly safe. She did not want her husband knowing her location. She said he had kicked her out and she'd been staying away due to his meanness. She requested no contact with him. Police confirmed she was safe and advised her to call if she needed anything. No welfare check was necessary at the cemetery, and no threat to herself or others existed.
Okay, all right. So we that was an interesting story. It's not the first time that we've seen this, but what are your thoughts on this whole stalking after a breakup, and then sometimes there's a restraining order, but then the thing with the restraining orders is they don't go in effect until the person is served the restraining order, so that you normally means they have to have another contact with you, and you call police and they serve them the protection order and then tell them to leave. So in order to get the protection order that you go to court for and get the protection order, you usually have to stick around and wait for them to come back again to get the protection order. So this is a version of like stalking, swatting. What's your take on this?
I have no idea. So he kicked her out. She went to get food. She's staying with somebody. He called the cops, said that she was suicidal. It's like,
and even said you could maybe, like, as if she was going to the funeral home or graveyard and off herself.
Kind of rubs me in a way. It's like, is he going to do something to her and put her there and make it look like a suicide? I think he should be watched a little bit more than her.
One of the things I liked in the article was the quote, because of his meanness. That I know some folks that talk like that, and salt of the earth people, and I think Baby Toots probably would have said he's a big meanie in his big meanness. But in a way, that ties back into, see, there's a method to my madness. It ties back into our first story where the caller was being truthful and there was a little kerfuffle. But now in this situation, the caller is telling an absolute lie.
Fictitious?
Yeah, so they could get like filing a fictitious complaint, abuse of the 911 system. I mean, they could face some stuff. It's slap on the wrist stuff, but
I don't know if it would be considered stalking, though. I mean, swatting, yes, but stalking would be if he was hoping that the cops would tell him his wife's location.
Right. So if he can convince them to do a welfare check, I'm putting on mind of a jaded ex.
Mm-hmm.
If he can convince him to do a welfare check, and they go busting in, that would interrupt any fun she might be having without him.
Possibly.
Could that be his motive?
I kind of feel like more or less his motive was either get information from the cops or get her arrested for something, saying that she had a gun and that she was suicidal. Could have, in some way, insisted the cops to arrest her and do like a 72-hour stay at the hospital for mental evaluation.
Oh, trying to get her tied up, wrapped up like that.
That way he could find her at the hospital.
Oh.
Isn't it 72 hours for a mental evaluation?
That's why we have these conversations. That's what we've always heard, but I'm not sure because we dealt with, and we don't advertise or tell folks when we help people in the community, but we had a person in the community that we were helping, and they didn't keep this person in the 72 hours. They kept the person long enough to render aid to the injury. That was obviously an attempt to unalive oneself. So that they tended to the wound and then kicked him loose. So I'm not real sure how that works, but also, and I had to do this because stalking's not just a local problem. When it so happens to coincide with this guy. Not a good week. Not a good week for the coach.
Not a good week for anybody on that team, apparently.
So what's your take on stocky Michigan coach?
I mean, is that like the actual famous team coach, or is that just a team coach? Is that like the professional coach?
Yeah, he's not the head coach. He's on the coaching staff, I believe.
So he's one of those people that make like thousands and thousands of dollars a game.
Big money, yeah, big money job.
Why would he be risking that for stalking his ex?
Yeah, and some other things. But yeah, I mean, the divorce.
The same guy.
Yeah. I was looking. Yeah. He was going through. I think he's going through a divorce, and then of course they lost the big game, which they hadn't done in a while, and then he gets arrested for the stalking. Wow.
So he couldn't beat the other team, so he's like, "Where's she at?"
So
Sorry.
It's the Buckeyes' fault. This is a Buckeye football inspired crime. We have to crack down on Ohio State football related crime. When Ohio State beats you, then crime goes up in the other town. Is that what it is? Oh, I'm glad we don't have that here, because I'll just say, so West plays Northwest, and whichever team wins, then all havoc breaks loose in the other district.
Yeah, but on the plus side,
and then one of the coaches get arrested for being all havoc-y because they lost their mind for losing the game.
Almost said something, and
I wish you would have. What with it being after hours and everything, because I'm about ready to show you something that's going to.
I almost said, well, at least men around here know it's illegal to beat on their sister.
Yeah, true. Not far from here is the limit, is the line.
Exactly.
It's just on the cusp of our broadcast radius. Of course, on the YouTubes, you're watching this. We've got we've got a very interesting following in several different countries. It's interesting that
That damn thing's trying to kill me.
the YouTube algorithms or what, man, we've really gotten some. What I'm saying is we might have to learn another language. Actually, if you're tuning in here, you know that we speak Appalachian American. That's a term, isn't it?
For anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's called redneck.
We speak redneck.
Mm-hmm.
I always told people I'm Southern, but I'm not country, and there is a difference. There is a difference.
What would I even be? Well, I was raised on a farm.
Right. That's the country. Have you milked
Kentucky farm?
Have you milked a horse?
No.
Have you helped birth the horse?
Does X's count?
Well, yeah. Yes.
I had to. Couldn't help it.
It's not that after hours. Oh man, that's the after hours. After hours. All right. So for
Stop laughing.
Oh man. All right. So we've got our last segment for tonight, and every time I say it's our last segment, we end up still talking. I'm not sure why.
Did we explain the one photo that I asked you about earlier?
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going there now. So for the next story, we have a really wonderful member of our investigation team, and you hear us talk about our wonderful investigation team. They largely, completely stay anonymous. That they're, for their safety, so they can actually do their job as investigators. But one of the investigators agreed to be identified, so we sent the Pink Bunny investigator to go and find. I can't do this. It was perfect in my mind. We sent the Pink News Bunny out to find us a story that was worth the price of admission here to the After Hours show. And so, Austin, I'm going to tell you the story. And
You're blowing a whistle. What was that?
I know. I heard a whistle. What was that? It's time to start or stop.
There's monkeys.
Huh?
You hear the
Yeah. What in the world?
Somebody has their TV up too loud. I think it's like Planet of the Apes or something playing.
Oh.
I hear whistles and monkeys and I don't know what's going on.
Whoever lives upstairs, I'm telling you. Oh, okay. So here's the story. Let's look. Okay, so here's a guy. This guy. At first look, I mean, he's kind of a normal guy. I don't know why he writes on his walls.
There's a lot to take in on those walls.
Yeah, a picture's worth 1,000 years. And and I don't. Some of the writing doesn't even look. I mean, what is this? Forlafa. I mean, we clearly see here's Johnny. That's foreboding about this story.
Stephen King would be proud.
Yeah. So here's what the News Bunny found first. Update. This person's name is Jeff. Jeff has still not been found. He's missing. A few names thrown in the air who may or may not have something to do with his disappearance, but it's all been dead-end leads. Please do not listen to his wife, Ashley Bartman, when she says this video is fake and he's been found. The video is not fake and he has not been found. Now, for obvious reasons, we can't show the video, but I have a clip of said video, and here is Jeff Archer And the video went on to say that that he was
Is that TikTok?
that he was kidnapped. So, but then another person comes in on for another format and says this was all planned. Jeff has been found. It was staged to avoid sentencing on the 22nd. So he didn't want to go see the judge, according to this person. This was in Elkhart, Indiana, or Osceola, Indiana. So thank you, News Bunny, for finding this. But what they're saying is that he did this to himself. So then he could show it why he missed his court date and then couldn't be sentenced. And then in some of the threads, and here's a side-by-side, here's the guy. So in some of the threads, they were saying that he had actually used a face swap program and wasn't, and also to prove it was fake. So let's look at what they're talking about. So I put these in the blue circles. The shirt has what looks to be like stab marks, right? And even like a little blood. But if you look on his body, there's no cuts.
No dirt, no cuts.
Yeah.
The cuts, or at least that cut straight up from where your mouse is.
Yeah.
Right above the other circle. That cut is perfect. You can tell that was done with a pair of scissors.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing they're saying with the face swap, if you blow it up like this, you can see a definite, I'm not going to say, that's weird. That's a weird, I don't know. It doesn't look like the head matches. It's weird. And then there's some pixelation here that would not be in an original.
Well, it kind of looks to me like they are using like Snapchat AI filters to enhance the light or change the light or make it look more dramatic.
So that's what he ended up with.
But is this post, is that on TikTok? That looks
we'll
like
have to ask the News Bunny. News Bunny sourced all
either Facebook or TikTok.
Well, it says Reels. So who
So
does Reels?
Facebook Reels.
Yeah. So kind of what I'm looking at is, was this guy not committed and did this through AI? I mean, if you really want out of the time and you're going to do this, I mean, obviously he did the old wrestler move where, he got the, because your forehead bleeds easy. So that's not even going to leave a scar. But I don't know. Would you want to make this a little bit more believable?
I don't know, like, from my years of watching, like, action movies and things like that, where you actually see the actors get tied up to the poles.
Right.
Their elbows are never facing outward. His elbows are facing the back of his head, so it looks like he jumped up, grabbed a pole, and is holding it like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they normally get...
Their elbows are either outward or facing forward. They're never facing backwards like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So he has no dirt on his body, a singular cut across his forehead, which is, like you said, a wrestler move, and it looks like he's jumping up and holding on to something for the photo.
So he's doing
He
this.
jumped up.
Almost like he's going to do a chin up.
Yeah, but he put his head more forward so his hands are behind his back, so it looks like he's hanging there.
But those are elbows.
Yeah.
And most people, when they're tied up, we don't have firsthand knowledge of tying people up. But as far as what we've seen, when one gets tied
30
up.
years of action movies where people get kidnapped.
The arms.
And it's all the same except for this photo here.
Yeah. Interesting.
You get that kind of stance when you're holding on to something if you've been doing pull-ups and then you just stop to take a break.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. So if you if you were going to try to skip court because you didn't want to get sentenced, and this was your big bright idea to show that you weren't able to show up to court because you were in the middle of being kidnapped, I mean, I would assume I'd have been an accomplice.
More than likely.
So wouldn't you want me to beat you with a bat a few times?
At least make it look more freaking presentable.
Throw some dirt on you, and yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to play a victim, I'm at least going to play a convincing victim.
Convincing victim.
I mean, at that point, you could grab a pair of scissors, cut my shirt a little bit, and I could jump up and grab a bar. Same photo.
Yeah. But don't forget, you have to have that string.
The shirt's not even dirty,
Yeah.
other than that one little faint blood stain.
Blood.
Which he probably picked the shirt up and dabbed it again on his forehead.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So the blood on the shirt came from the forehead.
That would explain why there's one dot directly in the middle.
Oh.
Perfect size for...
And then the backwards elbows. I don't know. What do you guys think? And also, thank you to the news bunny.
Even the bunny looks disappointed in him.
Yeah.
The bunny's like, this is bullcrap.
Oh, man. Oh, so there it is.
It's like, I came out of AI retirement for this crap.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
I was rendered into existence for this. Yeah.
Wasting my damn pixels.
Oh, man. I'm telling you what's the truth. Hey, we didn't plug the newsletter and the coupon code for the newsletter because Austin said it's too loud.
It was extremely loud last time.
And I forgot to download it and turn the volume down.
Well, we had the monitor up like halfway, which we know that like 27 is perfect, 38 is ear blowing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, TV.
Let's try it. Let's see how it works this time.
Okay.
If it's super loud this time, you got to do some editing.
All right. So I'm not gonna play. Well, I gotta play them both, so it makes sense, I guess.
Go for it.
Okay.
At SCDN, our main product is the SCDN Evening Newsletter. You get everything we publish each day delivered straight to your inbox. Beat the algorithm, support a local business. Get articles, stories, and investigations that nobody else covers. SCDN is number one for a reason, and that reason is you.
That was a good one.
That wasn't that bad.
Right. So then we decided to offer a coupon code for people just watching the After Hours podcast.
Headphone warning.
Headphone warning? Oh, if people are listening to the headphone, prepare for your brains.
I believe this one started out like super loud and it made me jump last time.
I don't know. Let's see. Trigger warning for sound. I don't know.
Bless me with the sunshine. Bless me with the evening time. Bless me with a child's smile. Bless me for just a little while. I could use a blessing, Lord. Just a little blessing, Lord.
So was that too loud?
If you had headphones in, that probably hurt.
It probably hurt. That was South Sundays, and while that was playing, I was looking because they just released an album cover here. So they're getting ready to do their very first full-length album. And I'm trying to see, they sent me, where is it?
Well, you're searching for that. Where in the diapers is Baby Toots?
Huh?
Where's Baby Toots? He have the week off?
Well, he got the MNRA vaccine, and it made him sick, so he's taking.
If I have to be here, so
I
does
mean,
he.
if we're going to get censored and demonetized.
If I have to be here, so does he.
Yeah, South of Sunday. There they are. South of Sunday. These guys are fantastic. And everything's written and produced here in Portsmouth, Ohio. Portsmouth, Ohio. So, and the only way you can find them right now is through the SCDN Radio. SCDN Radio. And they're going to have an album that's about to drop here real soon. So they're finishing up. There's one or two songs they're trying to decide if they're going to put on the album or not. But for all intents and purposes, we're ready for South of Sunday. So take a look at these fellers, and yeah, good, talented group of young men, and we want to encourage all of our artists, especially our musicians. It's a fond place in my heart. But all people of the, or even not even, I shouldn't say even, the caricatures. How you can just look at somebody and like freaking draw their picture. Have you ever had one of those done, like at a fair?
Oh yeah,
walking on the
like
beach,
the cartoon character thing.
Yeah.
I did. I got one done in Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. That's a good place for caricatures. You got to be good.
They made me look like freaking Urkel. This guy's just like, he holds up this big thing and he's just like, Hekel, and hands it to you, and you're just like, oh crap, okay. Your lips are way out here, your ears are.
What about the guys? I don't know. Miss Angie shows me these street artists, like in different countries and stuff, that make these just amazing paintings in like 45 seconds.
Or like the guys with the spray paint cans.
Yeah, those guys.
And they like just plop like rims on like a hubcap on the top and spray.
Yeah, and they spray
fire
around. And sometimes they've made it upside down, so they not only have to show it to you, but then flip it around, and it's, I don't know, Jesus.
So
it's weird.
It's that other one where she was on America's Got Talent or something, and she did a picture upside down. When she threw glitter on it, it was like Simon Cowell or something.
What?
Well, she threw glitter and it didn't look like anything, and they all like said no, and then she took the whole canvas, flipped it upside down, and it was like.
So they were like,
she painted him invisibly upside down, and when through the glitter, it covered it and flipped it up, and it was the person. Shit like that. Like,
what makes you think of that? And you can't guys, glitter is forever. you don't come home with glitter
on your skin, and your carpets.
You don't come home with glitter.
God forbid your car seats.
Oh man,
floorboard, your car. Just throw the whole car away at that point.
My last 3 years of teaching, I was fortunate enough. I did. I just want to have some. I want to have some fun, and I did kindergarten in the mornings, and 3rd and 4th grade in the afternoons. And anyway, the one I said to Miss Angie, one of the perks of the job is I come home with glitter on me, and you can't question where I've been. Because we're working with glitter all the time. But yeah, so that was a big perk of the job. Anything else that we need to address before we close this lovely program out? We're sticking on a pretty consistent time here for these shows, these after hours shows.
I don't think there's been any more Trump tomfoolery with the name calling, like Piggy.
Oh yeah, so quiet Piggy.
I think he's been behaving himself for the most part. Somebody should still take his social media away.
So, nothing to Google real quick and see what that.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Could ask though.
Oh, he's gonna ask.
Hey Siri. Nope, she's off for the day.
She's off for the. What?
She went home.
She went home? Oh.
She's supposed to respond to "Hey Siri."
Yeah.
Nothing.
You can just say it. Don't
Hey,
you
Siri.
have to like be logged in or anything?
Nothing.
Oh man.
Well, we are.
Wonder how many phones we just activated.
A lot.
Oh jeez. It's a good thing you didn't yell, Alexa. Because that'd have not been good.
There used to be a thing on iPhones where you could say the name and then say code red or red alert or something like that, and it would like immediately call 911.
So you could say Siri, red alert or code red or something like that.
Mhm.
And then Siri would just call and then wonder what Siri would say. And would the dispatchers argue with Siri?
I think it just automatically dials, and if they don't get a response, they dial back, and if somebody doesn't pick up, they immediately send somebody, something like that.
Okay, so
But
yeah.
if you're ever wanting to do anything fun, ask Siri why fire trucks are red.
Ask Siri why fire trucks are red.
Yeah, it will confuse your brain.
Wonder if I can do it. I got
Here, follow
I don't
me.
have Siri. I've got a different thing here, but let's see.
There we go.
Why are fires?
Hey Siri, why are fire trucks red? Oh yeah, I forgot they took out his ability to joke. Hey Siri, tell me a joke.
What? What's happening here? Oh, I can't read that.
I asked him to tell me a joke. It says, "How much room do you need to grow a fungus? As much room as possible."
Mushroom is possible.
Because that's the level of joke that they allow nowadays.
If I ask you a question, will you answer it audibly? And if I no responses are available. Bull.
Your
Or
Android is pay to
just-
play.
Huh?
Your Android is pay to play.
In life.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So you got the coupon code. You got some. I don't know what that was. Oh, my battery's running low. Ha! I forgot to plug in the computer. What do we got here?
Hurry, hurry.
Yeah. All right. So that was a computer way of saying, "Hey, if Siri's not working, I
Time
don't
to
want
go home.
I don't want to do this either." All right, guys. Thank you very much. You've been watching SCDN People's News #1 for
After
a
hours.
reason.
SCDN After Hours.
SCDN After Hours, the #1 After Hours podcast that we do. How about that?
You almost gave tribute to the actual news station instead of the After Hours show.
Oh,
You even went on with the whole "we're the best news station."
yeah, we're the best. Yeah. Oh, okay. So what do you say? Oh. So this has been the After Hours podcast brought to you by SCDN, #1 for a reason, and that reason is you. How about that?
Better.
Okay. So let's
He
see.
forgot what show he was doing.
Yeah. All right. So let's see if I can do this right. I can do this in one take. You think? Obviously not, but now that I'm prepared. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been After Hours, brought to you by SCDN, the People's News, #1 for a reason, and that reason is you. You got a point. You got a point when we do the. Yeah, it's a boy band thing where we both.
No,
we both
boy bands are out the door.
No. If you watch Netflix, Simon Cowell's put together a new boy band. So
If you watch Netflix, there's things about diddying people. So
well,
we're done with the boy
it
bands.
depends on your algorithm, I guess. You got to live outside your algorithm. All right, folks. Thank you very much. And Austin's going to do it this time. Let's just do a wave. Here, Austin's going to do. There we go.
Pass the light around, my friend. Don't hide it when it shines. One little jar turns the dark to gold. One's the young and heals the old. One's the young and heals the old.